Sorry, it was the only heart-shaped thing I could find. So, is what it is. So yeah. There's your cold opening. If you like it, don't like it, tough shit, I guess. The Melvins, Tarantula Heart. The apparently, according to this, the 27th full-length studio album from this band. For some reason, Thralls of Metal were convinced it was their 30th. And I almost don't blame them, but I have a feeling once they get to their 30th, they may actually fucking retire. Who the fuck knows if they will? If it is, it's a sad day. But I have enough of the discography. I don't know if it matters what they do. But anyways. Yeah, and I haven't even gone through the whole thing. Now, my original plan was to do a thing like I did initially for the Melvins, but it turns out there's some albums in the archives for digital releases that are missing. Particularly Lysol, which I found a way though, a backwards way to listen to that one, but for some reason I couldn't with Prick, and it kind of screwed up my discography run a bit. I managed to, despite that, get up to Stoner Witch, and then I realized I'm not going to get to that, and then I realized another band which I'm going to talk about after this review in the next one. So Tarantula Heart, being not only their 27th studio record, this album has only 5 tracks though, but given the first track, Pain Equals Funny, is the longest track. And if you kind of hear, the band is known for being extremely weird. They are very much pioneers in the fact of being considered proto-sludge. Even Phil Anselmo has cited their debut record, Gluey Porch Treatments, and I don't blame them. It literally is a much heavier freaking Black Sabbath, with slightly different vocals, I guess. In fact, I think it was what people probably wanted out of Sabbath by that point anyway, since Ozzy had left and all that stuff. And their follow-up records and in fact, Melvins has also been an influence to one of my favorite bands, Tool, alongside saying King Crimson was one of them. And if you heard their second record, Ozma, you definitely hear where Tool's influence comes from, especially when you compare it side by side with Undertow. Sonically to Undertow, but and then I think and then Bullhead, of course, Lysol, which mostly is covers, so I don't know if that would have counted as an actual. Surprised that they didn't just put the 3 tracks they did have that wound up on that, so called album, and make that with part of the EP with Eggnog, I guess. Whatever. Like I said, Melvins are weird, and they really started to showcase that on Houdini when they finally, thanks to Kurt Cobain giving them a major label record deal. Well, for talking them up, and eventually wound up on IPX Recordings because Mike Patton thought they were awesome, and frontman Buzz Osborne having worked with him on other projects, including Venomous and Tomahawk. There it is. And when he's not doing that, he's doing this still. So what are my thoughts on this record? I like it, and it's actually one of the more interesting ones coming back. I feel like having gone through their stuff, I feel like this is even way more of a treat than I initially expected it to be. Sure, there's some weird moments from it, but it's somehow they found a way to still be weird, but somehow bring in the heaviness back into it as well, of their more sludgier and stoner metal-y elements that they've been made a big somewhat contribution to, more so the sludge, alternative metal, and grunge specifically. And there's definitely that here for sure on this particular album. Some people have had, of course, one of my favorites, honestly, are some of the singles actually, like Working the Ditch or the singles, or like Working the Ditch that I kind of teased you with, and then Allergic to Food. There's also the weird track, She's Got Weird Arms. And of course the closer, Smiler, which I believe is more of a classic sludge type of track. But yeah, overall, there's not too much you haven't heard already from Melvins at this point. I mean, it's their 27th album. Something's bound to click with this. I've yet to hear about some of their earlier stuff, like Working with God, I'm told, was actually pretty good return to form of their like pre-Houdini years. So whenever I finally get to that point, I mean, if I do decide to do a discography ranking post, I will probably have to put an asterisk for this band, which is why the next band I'll be talking about, that I'll also be doing a review of, I was able to actually review the full thing, and I can make an actual proper ranking post. So, but I still was going to give this a shot. As long as I heard all the quintessential stuff, I think I'll be alright, which is up to Stoner Witch as far as I know. Maybe we'll see how that goes once I hear Stag, but I'm told there's some comparisons to, so we'll see. But yeah, anyways, as far as this album is concerned, actually, you know what? Melvins, the fact that they sound as good as they do, regardless of how weird and they are, light, strong. You know what? No, strong, keeping it real, to light, horns up. I don't think I can say this is masterclass. I mean, I think that's reserved more for some of the greatness, which I believe their earlier releases that I have listened to would somewhat fall under. I don't think I can say that about Houdini. Hot take. I kind of think Stoner Witch is better so far. But I do think I might like this over Houdini, actually. I'm still debating on that, but what did you guys think of the new Melvins record, Tarantula Heart? Leave a comment below, let me know if you were able to handle it at both its heaviest and its weirdest. Again, leave a comment below, let me know. What is your favorite Melvins records? I'm sure Houdini's going to come up, for sure, for a lot of people. Possibly, maybe the earlier stuff before that as well. If lucky, Stoner Rich. Or if I'm lucky, I guess. Comment below, let me know. If you like this video, rock the like button with the rest of your must. And as always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, y'all.